Many international students find out the hard way that landing a job is not easy in America. And one of the big booming industries right now is data science, analytics. So, we're going to be talking about how to land great jobs in data science and data jobs in America. But, Rishi, let's get started with what are some of the wrong attitudes or big mistakes that F1 international students are making in their job search here in America?
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. So, a couple of things that it's one of those things that we as F1 students did that I would recommend people to update a little bit. First things that at least I have seen that we did, and I've still see people doing, is just randomly asking strangers for referrals, reaching out to them directly on LinkedIn, not investing time in building that relationship, genuinely being interested in them and spending time to get to know them, just randomly approaching strangers for referrals. That's something that I would not recommend people doing. I would recommend people being genuinely interested in them, inviting them for coffee chats, being genuinely interested in their journey, learning from them, and investing time in that relationship. The other things that I've seen that at least I did that I won't recommend people doing is starting too late. So, job search in America is starting on day one. As soon as you land, start applying, start looking for areas to improve, and start focusing on your job search. Uh, so, a lot of people that I have seen, and indeed I have done, is waiting for your resume to be perfect, waiting for settling in, waiting for doing a lot of those things, and then applying. I would recommend not waiting and starting on the get go. Additionally, the third thing would be focusing on the numbers. At least coming from India, my focus was a lot on the GPA, the certifications, the numbers. In US, there is a little bit of a different approach to those things. I'm not saying don't focus on your GPA or just completely don't do anything, but I will say balance that with your GPA, with who you know, how you network, how you increase your skills, and then learn from it. The fourth, I will say, is not being aware of best LinkedIn practices, how to look for areas that you can stand out, how you can post, improve your LinkedIn profile, and build connections.
Those are great. I agree with all of those. Many students kind of come with the wrong ideas, the wrong mentalities, or their old job search practices from their home culture, but in America is very different. And so, friends, if you want to learn some great tips and other ways to improve, stand out, and land those jobs here in America, stay tuned. Hey, friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chine Coaching, we want to help you thrive and succeed in your cross-cultural journeys, especially landing those jobs, internships, full-time jobs. And today we're going to be focusing on data jobs, the big boom. So many people are coming to study business analytics, data science, and we've got an incredible friend to talk about his journey and his experience to help you guys land great jobs. So Rishi, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Rishi Kherdekar. I'm a senior engineering manager at Walmart Global Tech. I manage a team called CTE, which stands for Client Telemetry Engineering. Our focus is on improving the experiences for our associates at Walmart, and we heavily focus on building products and the right data strategies for doing and improving their experiences at Walmart.
I love it. Yeah, you've got a great career background, studying MIS, working with big companies here in America. So I'm excited to learn more. Let's backpedal a little bit, especially as people are kind of starting out, especially in college. What are some of those resume tips that people need to consider when they're beginning that job search?
Absolutely. So this part I'm really excited to talk to you about, because for the past couple of years I have been in the other side of it, where I've been recruiting people uh, from colleges and also a little bit more experienced people. The first thing that I would recommend, or the first thing that I would say, is that a lot of the students probably don't know that your recruiter or your hiring managers don't go through everything on your resume. They will usually do a quick glance at your resume. So they usually, I think I read somewhere, spend around 6 to 8 seconds per resume, and just a few. I would agree that, like, when I am on the other side of it, I would agree that that's around the range of time that recruiters or hiring managers would spend on their resume. So making sure that your resume stands out is a big indicator of that. So how you structure your resume, how you stand out on areas that you've solved and problems or impacts that you've solved, impacts that you've made, I think will highlight your resume a bit more. Adding numbers, structuring your work experience in a way to show that you're a problem solver, I think will go much further than highlighting certifications or other skills or GPAs that may not be as relevant as you may be solving a problem and showing impact.
Yeah, Rishi, what's another kind of mistake or improvement that friends can make on their resumes?
The number one thing that I would recommend people to do is quantifying things. So, easiest way to show impact on your bullet points when you write your resume is quantifying things, showing numbers in terms of impact, and not writing big bullet points and like big chunks or stories in your resume. Highlighting bullet points with impact goes a long way in my opinion.
No, I love it. Those are some great tips for the resume. And I'll just say too that resumes are important, but not the golden ticket. Don't spend hours. There's not the perfect resume. You need one, but it's not what's gonna get you the job. It just starts the process. In the data world, Rishi, what are some of those tools and technologies that in 2024, 2025, what are the ones that people need to prioritize?
Where I will say that although there are a lot of new technologies coming in and a lot of new areas to work through things with NoSQL and other important and critical technologies, obviously, my recommendation for students would be to focus on the basics. Without learning the fundamentals of SQL, without learning the fundamentals of your databases, without learning how data is stored, that's going to become challenging when you land a job and then start building your career, right? Just focusing on technologies or the new fancy things without spending enough time on building your foundations, I think may not go a long way. And building sample projects of your own doesn't have to be very fancy, it doesn't have to be very this thing. So I'll give you a quick example of what I did, and I think that that helped me a long way. One of the things that I did was I wanted to get into data engineering. I had a lot of data science experience in India, but I wanted to do data engineering and help build, integrate a lot of those products and APIs and things like that. So one of the things that I did was I had a sample server that I just created on my laptop. Took me 2 days to learn it, but then I started setting up a quick database on my laptop. It's very easy to do that online. You'll get a lot of options there. Spend a lot of time doing hands-on,
Mhm.
build a quick table and build a quick database there. And then what I did was I spent a little bit of time understanding APIs and helped connect like two services. That's it. Didn't take me a lot of time, took me 2 days. But then when I was answering questions in interviews and when I was talking about my experience, it was one of the projects that a lot of the recruiters were interested in, and I was able to talk through that a lot more in detail instead of just theoretical knowledge that I may have otherwise got, because I spent a little bit more time doing hands-on. So just very simple projects or very simple things, doesn't have to be very extensive, doesn't have to be very detailed, but something more hands-on.
I love it. That's so true. You can put all those things on your resume, SQL, Python, R, Tableau, but everyone's got it on their resume. What the recruiters want is proof. So that's why a dashboard, a personal website, a GitHub, a project that they can touch, click, see, feel, that's what's going to set you apart from the other candidates. And that gives proof that you know what you're doing, you know how to use those tools. So yeah, follow Rishi's example and recommendation with that. Friends, if you're struggling to get those interviews or convert them into a job offer, there's a great resource I want to tell you about called Final Round AI. Final Round AI is an incredible tool using AI technology to help prepare you to land that job. They have a resume builder. So we talked about resumes. It'll help you get those keywords, the formatting, and an optimized resume for the job roles you're looking for. They've also got Interview Copilot and mock interviews. So again, great tools to prepare you for job interviews and then also analyze and give you feedback on how you sound, how you look, how to communicate better and more confidently. They also have special guides and incredible question banks for certain industries and what kind of questions you want to prepare for. So I'm a big fan of Final Round AI. They've got stuff for software engineers, project managers, data science, marketing, managers, finance, all sorts of industries catered to you. So you can try out for free. Check out our link for a free trial and see if this tool can help you upgrade to get the jobs you guys are looking for. Check out Final Round AI. Rishi, you have experience doing some recruiting, engaging with candidates in your roles in these American companies. So yeah, what are recruiters looking for in candidates, especially that might be different than what students might be expecting?
So a couple of things that people are looking at when they are trying to hire people is they are trying to see how you. One thing that I think people don't think of enough is culture fit. So a lot of the companies are not only focused on your resume and technical skills; they are also focused on your soft skills and your culture fit. Increasingly, a lot of these jobs have to work with a lot of stakeholders, a lot of different team members, a lot of different people in different roles, from your leadership, your system engineering, software engineering, multiple different roles at your company, right? Big skill of that is not necessarily highlighted in your resume is your ability to talk to people and do a lot of stakeholder management. So one thing that I will recommend is reaching out to recruiters, reaching out to hiring managers, building a relationship with them, talking to them, learning from them, and that shows a lot of initiative. That shows a lot of your standing out mechanisms, a lot of stakeholder management, and then gives us the ability to kind of understand that this person is somebody who wants to get the job done. So that's always a good thing to have.
No, I love it. Yeah, I think one difference in America is the recruiters aren't thinking, how smart is this person? Because you guys are already all really smart, if you're doing a master's in America. What the recruiter is asking is, do I like this person? Do I connect with this person? Do they communicate well? Would I want to hang out with this person after work, after a long week? That culture fit you talked about is so important. So I really want to echo that. And it's not just, GPA, degree, but it's, do we connect as a person? So yeah, what were you going to say about that?
I have a funny story that I just remembered on it. So one of the interviews when I was giving for the Walmart role, in one of the interviews, my interviewer joined like a minute late, and started when we started doing introductions. Somebody else had joined. It was a panel interview, and the other person then joined a minute late. And they were just trying to bring them to speed. They said that we just had our introductions and things like that, and then he said that I have a couple of questions for you. And out of the blue, I just said, oh, I hope all of them are super softballs. And he what is your favorite color? I said red. He said, boom, done. And both of us got out of our chairs. And that was the funniest thing in the first 1 minute, 1.5 minute of the interview. And I think that really helped establish that rapport, and that do I want to hang out with you after the interview, or do I want to hang out with you after office? And I think that really turned the page throughout the interview process for me, and help build that relationship with the people I'm working with them. So shout out to Josh Michaels.
Nice. Yeah. So instead of not only talking about classroom and job stuff, and when they ask tell about yourself, make sure you talk about your personal things. What are your hobbies? What are your time passes? What are your passions? And those are the things that people connect with. Like, oh yeah, I also love photography. I love hiking. I love cycling, writing, reading, whatever it is, movies, and then you'll talk about those things and you'll be like, okay, this is a fun person. We would like working with him. And that's what they're really looking for, especially in those final rounds of the interviews. My friends, if you're learning a lot in this video like me, hit that like button to say thanks and cheers to Rishi sharing these great job search tips. And our chai question for you guys is, what kind of job roles are you looking for? What are you applying for? Let us know in the comments what kind of jobs, companies you're applying for. We'd love to hear from our amazing chai and coaching audience. And Rishi, now tell us, a lot of people have a lot of different approaches and strategies to getting the jobs, but especially for data jobs, what are the best job search strategies that people really need to consider and focus on?
Yeah, so I will say hands-on projects goes a long way. As you mentioned earlier in our video, you talked a lot about GitHub, talked a lot about your dashboards, talked a lot about your websites, things that the recruiter or the hiring manager can see, feel, touch, kind of a thing, and acts as a proof that you have done things that you're not just sharing on your resume. So that goes a long way in data. Building sample projects, doing a lot of hands-on goes a long way. The other thing that I would recommend again on your resume is highlighting skills that show that you've solved a problem. Just building, like, data should be the means to a solution. Showing that you solved a business problem, had an impact, that goes a long way. Showing that you really understood the problem, that goes a long way. So I would recommend highlighting skills that the company or their culture is really interested for. Putting that nuances into your resume, I think, goes a long way.
Great. I love those tips. My friends, follow them. And also, Rishi and I, we've made another video talking about more about his study abroad journey, his decisions and admits, and what his experience at the University of Arizona was like studying MIS, and some of his job search experience as a college student as well. So check that out. We got another great video that you can learn from Rishi. So check out that link as well. And Rishi, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing these amazing job search tips. And friends, again, if you want help in that job search, check out Final Round AI. Great tools for resume, job interviews, get those questions prepared. Check out Final Round AI. And thanks so much for being a part of this video. Make sure you connect with us online and social media, Instagram, LinkedIn. Make sure you subscribe to our e-newsletter as well with great resources, tips, and upcoming Lime events. And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers, everybody.